Hi guys, it's a teachable moment with Alan. This is video 3 in the series. So if you guys haven't used Teachable Machine with Google before, you might want to go to the first example and use it. Today's example, we're actually doing the third in this series in which we're using gestures to train the AI. And for today's experiment, we're going to train the artificial intelligence to recognize when we've raised our hand, so we don't have to keep our hand up on the air. And say like in a Zoom call or in class, you raise your hand once and the AI lets the teacher know. So let's begin the experiment. Make sure you're at teachablemachine.withgoogle.com. First of all, let's set up a class for when your hand isn't raised. Let's call it sitting still. All right? Now, of course, they want you to hold the webcam while you do this, which is a bit of a challenge, right? So let's move it in such a position where you make a little bit of a house here. You see what I mean with the, there we go. All right, just sit back and hold the button. Okay, that should be enough samples. All right, let's go here and let's say raised left hand. And of course you got to use the other hand to hold the record button, which I don't like, but we'll talk about that another day. Raise the left hand. Hold record for at least 20 samples. I do 30 here. Now let's move on, add a third class. Let's call this class raised right hand, which means you're going to have to hold the button for the video with your left hand. Yes, yes, yes. I know I make it sound like it's such a problem. Many of you are ambidextrous. All right, let's hold that and let's get about 20, 30 samples. All right, now we should have a properly set up classification model that detects when we have our right hand raised, our left hand raised, or when we're sitting still. Let's train that model. And as always, there's interaction between the Teachable Machine website and the interface, so don't mess with the JavaScript, let it work. It's actually training it, of course, in the cloud, but the training mechanism interacts with your web page through JavaScript, so you don't want to close it or switch tabs because you'll cancel the interaction and lose everything you were just working on, which will get recycled. All right, the training's almost done. Oh, there I am with a cup of coffee. Here we go. All right, so as you can see, it says sitting still. Raise my left hand. Raise my right hand. I think that we sufficiently have trained this model. Let's see what happens when I do this. Okay, now we didn't talk about that, right? You see, this is a problem because I really haven't raised my right hand. I have both hands raised, right? So that's a misfire, but the sitting still works. So let's fix that. Hang on just a second. Turn off the input if you will. Come back and let's add a class and say both hands raised, or raised both hands. If I'm going to follow the convention I started, raised both hands. Okay, now let's go down here. Now you're going to say, how on God's green earth am I going to record and raise both hands? Right? That's a good question. I'm not sure if there's any settings we have in here. Oh, let's turn off hold to record. There we go. Look at that. Go into settings. If you didn't see what I did, the little gear right there. Turn off hold to record. Say save settings. And then it'll record about 6 seconds. This will give us a chance to raise both arms and set that up. Okay, you ready? There's a 1 second delay. There we go. That's more than enough. Click the button again. That should be more than enough samples. Now, of course, there's a few here that were me when I was bringing my hands down, right? So let's go ahead and delete those. Not that the small amount will taint our training, but part of being a data engineer is making sure that your data is clean and accurate. And so you look for outliers and things that will dirty things in the future. So you clean that up. All right, train the model. Again, JavaScript interacts with the website, so hold fire while it works. It'll give you a timer there. It shows you where it's going, 9 of 50, 10 of 50, 11 of 50. See, you even got my excellent input audibly. 19 of 50. All right, I'm going to take a drink of my tea while this is going, so should you. All right, coffee, whatever you have. Kentucky MASH. 43, 44, 45. Okay, the model is almost trained and we'll start to test it. Let's turn the input back on. Here we go. There's my beautiful mug following through. As you can see, it successfully sees sitting still. Let's raise the old right hand. It understands what's going on. Let's raise the old left hand. Yep, it's raised what's going on. Now, let's raise both hands. Oh, look at that. Let's, up. How about that? All right. We have successfully trained the model. We have cleaned up the data, and we have also detected what we would call an additional condition that needed to be met, trained for it, and taken care of it. Thanks. This has been a teachable moment with Alan, with Google Teachable Machine, for Laney College, for Tuan, for 096F, Artificial Intelligence, and Berkeley City College. Thanks, guys.